Once upon a time, in the outskirts of Abeokuta lived the Olatunji family. Inolowo Olatunji has one wife and 3 adult children. He is an hunter and his wife Deunmi is a bead maker. Ayokunmi, being the middle child and the only girl, often gets teased by her 2 brothers. One fateful day, Deunmi sent Ayokunmi on an errand to deliver a set of beads in a nearby area. On her way back, she came across an old woman who asked her for food. Ayokunmi rushed back home, took some food and gave it to the old woman. When the old woman finished eating, she transformed into a beautiful goddess. Ayokunmi was dazed and couldn't move. The goddess spoke softly and said, "I have been standing at this junction for the past 2 days, watching the humans go about their business. Most of them were scared to even look at me. They called me a mad woman and others pretended not to hear my cry for help. But you were kind to me, and for that reason, I will grant you a special gift." Ayokunmi replied, "No, I didn't help you so I could get something in return. I did it from the goodness of my heart. My parents taught me to be kind and respectful to others." The goddess smiled and said, "The more reason why you are deserving of my gift. But promise me you will never hurt anyone with this gift. If you did, I will come back and banish you into the evil realm forever." Ayokunmi promised. The goddess pointed her wand at her and mumbled some words. Lightning struck, and Ayokunmi felt a strange tingle in her chest. The goddess continued, "You now have the power to make any wish come true, but never make a wish when you are angry. Anger comes with evil. Beware." Then she vanished into thin air. Ayokunmi went back home but kept thinking, how could she possibly make any wish come true? She laughed and said to herself, "That goddess tricked me." Few days after, Deunmi asked Ayokunmi to get some fresh water from the stream. She instructed her eldest son Babajide to accompany her because it would get dark soon. On the way to the stream, Babajide met with his friends and left Ayokunmi by herself. Ayokunmi got scared and cried, "Babajide is the worst brother ever. I wish my calabash would magically be filled with water and I won't have to visit the stream all alone." And behold, it happened. The calabash was filled with water. Ayokunmi tossed the calabash and ran as fast as her feet could get. She rushed into the house and began screaming for her mother. "Mother, mother." Deunmi rushed in and asked what had happened. Ayokunmi just stared at her. After a few minutes, she started talking so fast that her mother couldn't make sense of what she was saying. Deunmi said, "Calm down. Did anyone hurt you? Are you all right? Tell me what happened." Ayokunmi informed her mother about what has occurred and her meeting with the goddess. Deunmi replied, "You this girl, how could you keep all this to yourself? You could have come to me." "But wait oh, are you sure you made the wish come true?" Ayokunmi responded, "I think so. I was talking and suddenly there was water in the calabash." "Are you sure?" asked Deunmi. "Mother, I'm not sure of anything anymore," replied Ayokunmi. "Wait, where is Babajide? Was he with you when it happened?" asked Deunmi. "No, mother. He left me to have drinks with his friends," replied Ayokunmi. "Don't worry, my dear. Let's have dinner. We will revisit this conversation later. I hear your father coming." Olatunji came in with Tayo, his youngest son. Soon after, Babajide joined the family. They had dinner and then went to bed later on. The following morning, after the men had left for work, Deunmi called Ayokunmi into the room. She said, "About what happened yesterday, let's try something to confirm it." "Are you sure this is a good idea, mother?" replied Ayokunmi. Deunmi replied, "Of course. How else would you know if it is real or just an imagination?" Ayokunmi said, "I wish my mother is dressed in the finest dress and gold." And voila, Deunmi's appearance changed. And she started dancing. Our life will not remain the same again. "My daughter, you have been blessed with the most wonderful gift, but you need to be very cautious." Ayokunmi replied, "Yes, mother." Deunmi continued, "We will inform your father and brothers when they get back this evening." Ayokunmi said, "Mother, are you certain it is a good idea to inform my brothers too? I am worried about Babajide. You know your son can be handful." Her mother reassured her that everything will be all right. The other family members were informed later on in the evening. Babajide was the first person to request for a wish. He wished to have his own house, 3 beautiful wives, 10 bags of gold, and 3 horses. Tayo wished for good health for himself and his family and abundance of luck. Her father, Ninoluwo, wished for his traps to catch big animals. Immediately after granting her family wishes, Ayokunmi felt lightheaded for a second but felt better immediately. She said to herself, "That's strange." The Olatunji family continued their days like every normal family. The week after, Ayokunmi was on her way back from the farm when she found a man trapped under a tree. The man cried out, "I am trapped. Help me. Is there anyone out there? Please help me." Ayokunmi heard his cry for help and made her way to the scene. She said, "I wish for the tree to turn into dust." The big tree turned into dust and the man was free, but his leg was broken. The man was so grateful to be free, but Ayokunmi made another wish for his leg to be healed, and behold, it did. The man thanked Ayokunmi for saving his life. She left him while he was examining his leg in awe. Ayokunmi went directly to the market to get some peppers. By the time she got back home, her house was filled with a small crowd of 5 people. She wasn't sure about what was going on, so she went to inquire about what had happened. To her surprise, she found out that they were waiting for her. One of the women said, "Please heal my daughter. She has been afflicted with leprosy." Ayokunmi stood still and couldn't breathe for a moment. The woman continued, "Ajadi informed us a moment ago about how you helped him. My daughter, please help me." Before Ayokunmi could utter a word, a man jumped forward and said, "My wife is barren. Please, we wish for a set of twins." Suddenly, a young lady sharply interjected. Ayokunmi recognized her. She said, "Ayokunmi, you know we are friends, right? All I wish for is an handsome rich man to love and take care of me and my family. The struggle is enough," she stated. The remaining 2 people informed Ayokunmi about their wishes too. She granted them their wishes and they showed their appreciation and went back to their home. Ayokunmi noticed how weak she felt afterwards. She had to lie down for a moment in order to get her strength back. She felt it was hunger, then went into the kitchen and had some cocoyam. The next morning, she informed her mother about what had occurred the day before. Her mother encouraged her to help people and said, "Make sure you don't miss your meals. Also, your father wants me to remind you about the matchmaker. She will come in a few weeks to inspect you and decide the right suitor for you." Ayokunmi replied, "Mother, I promise not to miss my meals, but I'm not sure I'm happy with this matchmaking process. What if I don't like the man? Or what if he is ugly, Mama?" Her mother said, "Calm your nerves, daughter. Just calm down." No, Mama," continued Ayokunmi. "Or what if he's a woman beater at that?" Her mother laughed and interrupted her. Deumi said, "Best believe I will support you. It is your happiness that matters to me. Moronkeji, eh? If you don't like him, I will ensure I sway your father's opinion." Ayokunmi nodded in assurance and helped carry her mother's bag. Immediately they stepped out of the house, they were greeted by a large crowd. Deumi stepped in front of her daughter and took charge of the situation. She announced, "Please have a seat." She handed them mats and said, "Please come forward one after the other." She left for the market once she confirmed everyone was seated. They informed Ayokunmi about their wishes. She granted them, but after the last woman was about to leave, Ayokunmi felt a strange weakness yet once again. She rushed inside the house, had a cup of water, but she didn't feel any difference. She made her way into the kitchen, had some food, but she still felt dizzy. Instead, she crawled into her room, lay down, and slept. She woke up to the sound of someone crying. She saw that it was her mother. She said, "Mother, what happened?" Deomi hugged her daughter and cried even harder. Her father, Nino Lowo, and 2 brothers were in the room as well. They looked concerned. Babajide offered her a drink. The room was still and quiet. Finally, Nino Lowo announced, "Look here, my daughter. I am very worried about you. What happened to you? You have been asleep for a whole week." Ayokunmi showed disbelief. Her mother's reaction confirmed the information. Nino Lowo continued, "Are you sure it is not the power that the goddess gave you that's causing this? Something doesn't feel right." Ayokunmi replied, "How is it possible to sleep for a whole week, father? Babajide said, "You were still for a whole day. On the second day, you were tossing and talking in your sleep. That's how we confirmed that you were still alive." Ayokunmi was lost in her thoughts, thinking what could have made her miss a whole week. Tayo added, "I am happy that you are awake, but please stop granting wishes. I fear this might get worse soon." Ayokunmi replied, "I need to help as many people as possible." Deomi interrupted her and said, "So you want to die, Abby? Just because you want to help people? What would happen to me if you die?" She started crying. Ayokunmi replied, "Mother, I am not going anywhere. I am not going to die. You are stuck with me forever." Her father then suggested they should consult Ifa to understand the situation. Nina Lowo took Ayokunmi with him to visit the Oshun priestess. She made them understand that the goddess' gift was both a blessing and a curse. The Oshun priestess said that your recent episode was due to abuse of power. You were granting too many wishes. Not everyone is deserving. She proceeded to inform them that Ayokunmi can only grant 3 wishes a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. She continued, "If you persist on granting so many wishes at once, you might fall into sleep and never wake up again." They paid her. Nina Lowo said to his daughter, "Hope you understand the message. You need to tread carefully." Ayokunmi agreed and they went home. There was a larger crowd by the time they got home waiting for them. Babajide and Tayo were trying to get them to leave, but they refused. Nina Lowo said in a loud voice, "My people, you are welcome, but unfortunately we have some bad news. My daughter can only grant 3 wishes a day, so decide among yourselves who those 3 people will be." One of the men in the crowd replied, "Nina Lowo, allow your daughter to help us now." Nina Lowo replied, "That won't be possible, Badebo, because my daughter could die. You all have been coming here for the past few days. What you all didn't know was that she was in a deep sleep for the whole time. Her energy was drained from granting so many wishes." He continued, "Why am I even explaining myself to you? If you don't like what I said, you can leave." He went into the house with Ayokunmi. Ayokunmi was petrified and finally spoke. "I don't think I can do this anymore, father. They expected so much from me," she cried. "It's okay, my daughter," Nina Lowo consoled her. Fright broke out within the crowd as everyone wanted their wishes to be granted immediately. They fought for days. Ayokunmi couldn't leave the house because the villagers refused to come into an agreement. One day, Ayokunmi couldn't take it anymore and walked out into the crowd and screamed, "Quiet, everyone! If you don't leave here or come to an agreement this instant, I will make a wish. Trust me, you don't want to know." They all calmed down and kept quiet. She proceeded, "Now leave, and only 3 people per day should show up here as instructed." They departed quietly. The next day, the villagers consented to the offer and everything went on smoothly henceforth. Ayokunmi was secretly concerned about her own well-being. She decided to make a wish for herself. She said, "The matchmaker will be here in 9 days. I wish for her to find me the man of my dreams and take me far away from here." Some days, she gets bothered by few villagers whenever they come across her to grant them a wish or two. One fateful day, she was cornered on her way to her mother's shop. She felt harassed and forcefully agreed to their request. She lost consciousness afterwards, and she was unconscious for another 10 days. She wasn't happy with herself, but pretended everything was okay. She said to herself, "These people don't care about me. They only care about what they can get from me." 6 days after, a woman carrying a small girl came rushing into the Olatunji's compound. She cried, "Ayokunmi, please help my daughter. She's dying. Please help me." Ayokunmi was caught off guard. This was a hard ask. She decided to make one wish for the woman. The dying girl was healed. Her mother was really appreciative of Ayokunmi, and they went on to their house. Suddenly, Ayokunmi felt drained, like her life was being pulled out of her body. She slumped. She was found by her brother Tayo, who carried her inside and called the attention of their parents. Ayokunmi woke up 2 weeks after. She was informed about the matchmaker's visit with a prospective suitor. Deomi explained. The matchmaker left the next day, but the suitor stayed for a whole week. He was so kind and showed a lot of concern for you. He promised to come back for a proper meeting in 2 weeks if you were awake by then. Ayokunmi cried for a long time and finally said, "Mother, I don't want this gift anymore. It's ruining my life. I know it's a good thing to help others, but I can't keep missing days. I can't get them back, and I'm losing myself. This gift feels more like a punishment rather than a blessing. Her mother cried with her. Suddenly, Deomi asked, "Is there a way you can summon the goddess?" Ayokunmi replied, "I don't know, mother. I don't even want to think about it. I just want to live my life in peace." Ayokumi's anxiety to leave the house grew that she started having panic attacks. It got even worse whenever she hears a knock at the door. She always gives her siblings excuses not to go out with them and sometimes lie about being sick to avoid leaving the house. She kept on praying that her suitor should be who she wanted and dreamt of. 2 weeks after Ayokumi was alone at home, suddenly she saw a silhouette of a man at the door. She moved closer and saw the most handsome man she has ever laid her eyes on. She quickly moved to the door before he could knock at the door and said, "Good afternoon. Who are you and who are you looking for?" He replied, "My name is Prince Eniton. I am here to meet you, Ayokumi." Ayokumi was dancing inside but pretending otherwise. She started blushing and replied, "My apologies." She offered him water from the pot and they talked for a long time. Later that evening, her mother arrived with Tayo. They exchanged greetings. In the evening, when Ninolowo arrived, Prince Eniton asked for his blessing to take Ayokumi as his wife. Ninolowo agreed and offered his blessing without hesitation. The next morning, Ayokumi told Prince Eniton about her encounter with the goddess and her dilemma to get rid of the power. He assured her that he will stand by her no matter what. He said, "I love you, Ayokumi. I love you the very day I laid my eyes on you, though you were asleep, but my heart and being belonged to you from that very moment. I couldn't get you off my head." She smiled and said, "I feel the same way about you too." A month after, they got married. On the night of the wedding, Ayokumi asked her husband to be left alone in the room. After he had left, she made a wish. She said, "I wish to be free from this power forever and to live my life in abundant peace with my husband." She felt a light ball being pulled out of her chest. It vanished within seconds. Ayokumi went back to her husband, they kissed and they went to bed. She and Prince Eniton continued to live their life in love and happiness. They had 4 children and lived happily ever after. The moral of the story is that something can be two things at once. It can be good and it can be toxic. It can be a blessing or a problem in disguise. Secondly, don't let anyone put you in the position that will endanger your life. Not everyone is deserving of your kindness. Lastly, always choose yourself first and never apologize for prioritizing your own happiness. The end. Thank you for watching. See you on the next episode. Bye.